Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's Lee Henson, president and founder of Agile Dad, and it's time for today's episode of the Daily Stand Up. Without any further ado, let's get started. So today it's time for our agile, not so agile episode of the Daily Stand Up. I hope you had an amazing week. I hope things went well. Now, some of you might say I'm late to the party with this, but I want to share with you something that moved me. One of the things that I've talked about quite a bit on in my classes and in my workshops, and even here on Fridays on the podcast, is our renewed mission to be kind to one another, and how important it is that we look for ways to go out of our way to do something nice for someone else. Lately I've been doing a lot of soul searching, if you will, trying to find new and innovative ways that I could show kindness to others. And one other person I came in contact with, he was one of the students in my CSM class, in a certified Scrum Master class. He told me that every single day he has a network or a small group of people, and there are about 10 of them, and they send something uplifting to each other every day, whether it's just a news article they read or something personal that happened to them, like a spiritual thought or something. They always send something every single day. And I thought that was pretty inspiring, and I thought it was really cool. And without me even asking, this is where the act of kindness comes in. This gentleman decided that starting the day after class that he was going to send me something uplifting or something he thought would help me every single day. And what's interesting is that he took the time to customize what he sent me. It's not like just this generic thing where everyone sends the same link to the 6 friends or 9 friends or whatever. This is something that he thought I would personally be in line with. And I thought, how powerful is that someone took time out of their day to not only be thoughtful and send me something, but to send me something that they thought would be relevant to me. And I guess what I'm trying to say is this is a great opportunity for us to flood the world with kindness if you do something like this. And I thought it'd be cool for me to share with you the first one that I received from him, because I thought this really moved me. I have a sincere belief, especially probably being somewhere in the autism spectrum myself. I feel like people need to show love and kindness to others. And I've said that a million times, right? But this one video that this gentleman sent me, it was from Britain's Got Talent. And everybody knows I love the Got Talent shows and The Voice and all that good stuff, American Idol. I'm a big fan of that type of television because, not so much for the ones that get cut down, but for the people who get lifted up, for the people whose lives are changed forever from that one show. It kind of has a Shark Tank mentality, but it's more fluffy, I guess is the best way to describe it. But in this particular episode, and I know I'm late to the party, it was April 11th of 2020 when this was posted, but it was the Sing Along With Us choir. And there was this beautiful young boy who came on stage with his sister. And it was clear, it was evident that he had a lot going on in his life. You could see that he wasn't able to speak, his sister said. And he struggled with autism and wasn't able to speak and probably had many other problems. And she wanted to be able to communicate with him. So she took the time to learn sign language and to teach him how to sign. And they were able to communicate, and it was just such a joyous thing. And the next part is the part that stole my heart. She not only taught him how to sign, but she rearranged the letters and taught him how to sing. And they had a special treat for everyone who was watching that day, where they were going to sing "This Is Me" from The Greatest Showman. Now, I know, overplayed. It's an anthem song, though. And it's an anthem for all those people who aren't like other people, for all those people who are different, for all those people who think differently or act differently, and it's not by their own choice. It's just who they are. And even personally, I've encountered times where people may misinterpret something that I've said, or maybe they felt like, wow, you really went on a limb there sharing something personal. And I get it, because part of me understands, because I don't exactly have that filter. And this performance was incredible. I thought it was just going to be the two of them singing before the judges. And before you know it, the entire stage was filled with individuals. There was three things that stood out to me. One was that every single one of them wore a different color shirt so that they could express every color of the rainbow. It was probably one of the sweetest, most inclusive moments I've ever seen in any one of those shows. I think the thing that made it even more special was that the majority of the people on the stage all had special needs. They all had something going on. And they had people there with them to support them. But the majority of the people on the stage had some special need. I guess what I'm trying to say is this was so far outside of their comfort zone that it moved me. It made me realize just how blessed I am. The next thing that stood out to me was that it literally looked like a melting pot. You had people of every color, of every race, of every ethnicity. You had males, females, who knows who else. But the point is, you had people of every culture, of every race, and it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And the third thing that stood out to me was knowing how hard it is for me personally sometimes to come out of my shell and to just be myself. Because I feel like a lot of times doing what I do as a profession, I have to get into that agile zone, and it's hard for me to get out and get into a personal zone. And I know how hard it is to break down barriers and walls. And to see each of these individuals push with everything they had, to have confidence, and to go out there and do their best, their very best job, signing and singing or doing the best they could. It wasn't like any other choir I've ever seen. I think what summed it up was when they flashed the camera towards the judges, and every single judge had tears streaming down their face. It was for a moment where everyone was equal. Everyone had a voice. Everyone was powerful. No one was judged. Everyone was just beautiful. The only other day I ever felt like that was shortly after 9/11 in the US in 2001, where people came together and they stopped putting up these barriers, these walls, and they just started saying, we are all part of one race, the human race, and we need to be good to one another. My hope is I'll drop a copy of the link to the video in the description. And my hope is just that you'll take time to recognize what your strengths and your weaknesses are, and that you'll take an opportunity to uplift someone else today. It's been a long time since I had a good cry, but this is just such a powerful message, and it's a great medium for me to be able to share these thoughts with you. So I hope that you'll take time today, out of all the busyness of the world, to find someone and do an act of kindness. Find someone and uplift them. Find someone and move them. And no matter what happens in your life, don't be afraid of who you are. You're made perfect just the way you are. And it doesn't matter what struggles you're going through and what's happening in your life. You are perfect just the way you are. And understand that you're loved. And understanding you're surrounded by people who should want to uplift you. It's my hope that we'll stop tearing the world down and start making it a better place. I hope this brings you into the weekend with a very positive vibe. This is me signing off on Friday. Hopefully you'll join us on Monday. We have another one of our Agile experts on Monday. I'm not going to tell you yet. I'll let it be a surprise. But as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, have an amazing weekend. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Daily Stand-Up, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care.